Freemasonry is one of the most enduring and influential secret societies in human history. It exists quietly yet unmistakably, its symbols engraved on buildings, woven into national monuments, and hidden in plain sight throughout Western culture. To the public, Freemasonry presents itself as a fraternal order focused on moral improvement, fellowship, and charitable work. But beneath this respectable exterior lies a world of symbols, initiations, and ancient teachings that has fascinated scholars, mystics, and seekers for centuries. It is within this symbolic and ritualistic core that many find what appears to be a gateway to occultism, a path that leads into the inner chambers of esoteric knowledge. To understand why Freemasonry is so often associated with the occult, we must look beyond its modern organizational form and examine the deeper philosophical system at its foundation. The roots of Freemasonry do not lie solely in the medieval guilds of stoneworkers, as mainstream histories suggest. Its symbolism, teachings, and rituals reach far further back, into the mystery traditions of ancient Egypt, Greece, Judea, and Persia. Long before the Masonic Lodge existed as a formal system, there existed a tradition of sacred geometry, the study of the universe through number, proportion, and architectural harmony. Temples, pyramids, and sacred enclosures were not simply buildings. They were metaphysical instruments designed to align human consciousness with cosmic order. This is where Freemasonry begins, in the belief that architecture is not only physical, but spiritual. The tools of the builder, the compass, the square, the level, the plumb, are not merely instruments for shaping stone. Within the lodge, they become symbolic tools for shaping the inner self. The Mason is not building cathedrals, he is constructing an inner temple. This idea alone places Freemasonry firmly within the world of esoteric initiation. The lodge is not simply a meeting room, it is a symbolic universe. The ritual through which a candidate enters Freemasonry is not a simple membership ceremony. It is an initiation drama that reflects the ancient pattern of death and rebirth. The candidate is blindfolded, led into darkness, confronted with symbolic danger, and finally brought into the light. He is made to understand that ignorance is darkness, and that knowledge, not merely intellectual knowledge but experiential illumination, is light. This language of light and darkness is central to occult philosophy. In Hermeticism, Gnosticism, Kabbalah, and Sufism, enlightenment is depicted as an inner awakening, a return to the primordial knowledge that human beings lost through forgetfulness. Freemasonry inherits and preserves this same spiritual narrative. The initiate learns that the world is filled with symbols that conceal truth from the unprepared and reveal it to those who are ready to understand. The structure of the lodge, the layout of the ritual, the progression through degrees, all are designed to train the mind to interpret reality symbolically. This is the first way in which Freemasonry becomes a gateway to occultism. It teaches the initiate to read the world as a book of hidden meaning. However, this symbolic education is only the beginning. The deeper mystery of Freemasonry lies in the allegory of the Master Mason, centered on the figure of Hiram Abiff, the legendary architect of Solomon's Temple. In the ritual, Hiram is murdered by 3 ruffians who attempt to force him to reveal the Master's word, the secret of divine craftsmanship. Hiram refuses, choosing death over betrayal. His body is buried, the word is lost, and the brothers of the craft undertake a symbolic quest to recover it. For the initiate, this story is not historical, it is spiritual. Hiram is the inner self, the divine spark embedded within the human being. The ruffians are ignorance, fear, and corruption. The lost word is the forgotten knowledge of the divine essence of humanity. Thus, the Mason's goal is not simply moral improvement, but the resurrection of the divine self. This concept is shared with ancient mystery schools, alchemical transformation, esoteric Christianity, and mystical Islam. In every case, the individual undergoes a process of inner refinement meant to unite the soul with its divine origin. In alchemy, this is the turning of lead into gold. In Kabbalah, it is the ascent of the soul through divine emanations. In Hermeticism, it is the awakening of the God within. Freemasonry, therefore, does not create occult seekers. It awakens the mind to the desire for deeper knowledge. Once the initiate realizes that meaning is hidden beneath the surface of symbols, he is naturally drawn into the study of Hermetic philosophy, Kabbalistic cosmology, astrological correspondences, sacred geometry, and ceremonial ritual. Freemasonry does not teach these directly in its mainstream degrees, but it creates the conditions for their pursuit. Historically, the overlap between Freemasonry and occultism is not accidental. Many of the most influential esoteric thinkers in Western history were Masons. Eliphas Levi, the revivalist of ceremonial magic, was heavily influenced by Masonic symbolism. Albert Pike, the most influential interpreter of Masonic philosophy in America, wrote extensively on Kabbalah, Gnosticism, and Hermetic doctrine. John Dee, the royal magician of Queen Elizabeth I, whose works formed the basis of Western occult tradition, influenced the symbolic foundations that later entered Masonic rites. Moreover, certain branches of Freemasonry, such as the Scottish Rite, York Rite, and Rite of Memphis Mizraim, explicitly engage with mystical cosmology, angelology, numerology, and theurgy, the practice of invoking divine powers. While mainstream lodges present these as allegories, many initiates pursue them as living spiritual systems. This is where Freemasonry becomes unmistakably a portal. The deeper one travels into the degrees, the more the symbols shift from moral lessons to cosmic ones. The pillars of the temple become channels of divine energy. The compass and square become symbols of the balance between spirit and matter. The blazing star becomes the divine spark within consciousness. The lodge is revealed as a map of the universe, the microcosm reflecting the macrocosm. This worldview is identical to that of the Hermetic and Kabbalistic traditions, where the human being is seen as a reflection of the cosmos, carrying within themselves the keys to creation. Because of these connections, Freemasonry has long been misunderstood as promoting occult worship or secret control. But the truth is far more subtle. Freemasonry does not dictate belief, it invites inquiry. It does not give answers, it teaches how to search. It does not lead to obedience, it leads to self-realization. And that is precisely why it is feared. Institutions of power, political, religious, or ideological, are threatened by systems that teach individuals to think symbolically, independently, and spiritually. Mystical knowledge empowers the individual, not the hierarchy. This is why Freemasonry has been suppressed, banned, accused, mythologized, and demonized throughout history. What is feared is not conspiracy, but awakening. In the end, Freemasonry is not a secret society because it hides information from the world. It is a secret society because the real secret can only be understood through inner transformation. No book, no lecture, no ritual can reveal it until the initiate is ready to see. Freemasonry is a gate, not the destination. Those who join for social status or fraternity may never pass beyond the outer chamber. But those who sense the deeper current, who recognize the symbolic language, who hear the echo of ancient wisdom in its rituals, find themselves standing before the threshold of the great work. And beyond that threshold lies the vast, mysterious realm of the occult. Not the occult of superstition and fear, but the occult of illumination, knowledge, and inner rebirth. Freemasonry does not promise enlightenment. It offers the path. The rest must be walked by the seeker alone.